In this volume of essays, the scholars ask, what did Masons of the early Grand Lodge era actually do in their lodges? How did these brethren think of themselves and their craft? What were their motivations and ideals? And what was their experience of Freemasonry? By posing such questions, our writers have been able to study not just an institutional beginning, but the cultural realities of Masonic life in the first decades of the Grand Lodge history. Unquote. Before discussing some of these points and the authors thereof, it should be noted that although the book has 455 pages of text, Sean Eyre's and Christopher Murphy's papers constitute more than 3/5 of the contents, leaving only 150 plus pages for the other 5 authors' papers. Having known and worked with Sean Eyre for over 10 years, and indeed I signed his petition to join the Lodge of Nine Muses 1776 in Washington, D.C., I can assure the listener that his papers attest to his keen intelligence and profound depth of knowledge of early Masonic publications and orations. However, in my opinion, his style is often turgid and pedantic, preferring long, complex sentences than 2 or 3 short ones, each containing connecting points. Christopher Murphy's papers, the first on a survey of early Grand Lodge constitutions and pocket companions, and the second on how Freemasonry's worldview or lodge culture developed, are excellent. In both cases, Murphy brings forth numerous examples of Masonic morality, proper deportment, and abhorrence of intemperance and excess. His paper affirms Freemasonry developed with a high moral purpose, and the first generation of London Freemasons pursued a righteous life as they encouraged their brethren to do likewise. However, he begins his paper on what he calls the, quote, tavern myth, unquote, the myth being because first generation London Freemasons met in taverns, they were simply the equivalent of a 20th century college fraternity parties, rather than virtuous intellectual support groups. While I agree with Murphy, his paper provides no evidence or citation that supports this, his opening statement, quote, a popular theory holds that early Grand Lodge era Freemasonry lacked any significant meaning or purpose, unquote.